Hello, boys. So, this is year one of me becoming one of the most influential salespeople the world has ever seen. Now, it's a bit weird we're making this video on the 20th of December and posting it on the 21st, considering most people do stuff like this in January, in the new year. And this is sort of like my new year goals slash plan, my 5-year plan that I've set out for myself starting from January. But a golden rule in life, if you want to be successful, genuinely just do the opposite of what everyone else does. So, it's really simple, and that's going to be sort of what this video is about. What I'm going to be telling you to do in this video is I'm actually going to help you make more money by doing less, by making your brain just move slower. You focus on the basics, you focus on the simple things, and you will make money 10 times faster. You want to make your first 10K a month? Let's just simplify it. You want to scale to 50K a month? Let's just simplify it, So that's what we're going to be talking about. But genuinely, if you want one thing to take away just right off the bat, and it's super simple, if you're ever stuck, should I make this decision or should I make this decision? Just do the one that 99% of people wouldn't do. Do the opposite of 99% of people, and you'll probably end up in a pretty good position in life, So, yeah, over the last few weeks, it's been a little bit weird because, I've been just ramped. I've been working like an absolute soldier, right? And even though I can sit here and be like, oh, wow, I'm a fucking G. Savage. No one's outworking me. At the end of the day, this is not how to win in business, It's not all about just working hard, because there's billionaires that probably just work a couple of hours a day, or maybe they don't even work anymore, Like, you can definitely achieve a lot without having to just work. And it's all about simplifying things and building systems. And that's kind of what I've been doing. And that's kind of why I've been working so hard. Because over the last 2 years, I'm about to go into my 3rd year of online business. I've been building my business Alpha Setters, sales training program, and sales management and recruitment agency, right? I've been building this business. And this whole time, I've always been, I think I've just been doing too much, to be completely honest. And you can watch this video and take my lessons so that you don't make the same mistakes. But I've always been doing too much, trying to make things too complicated. Oh, I need to build a very, original and authentic personal brand, blah, 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 something that's never been seen before. I need to be very different when it comes to my brand image, my systems. I'm taking team meetings every day. I'm doing everything. This meeting, reviewing the data, automations, blah, blah, blah. Like been doing everything, and I've been just doing way too much. And it's just been, my life and my brain has just been too overwhelmed with complexity, And I went to a mastermind in Liverpool a week ago. Yeah, last Friday. I went to a mastermind in Liverpool last Friday, and Raul, my mentor, and then there was this crazy Swiss guy. I don't even remember his name, but it was crazy as fuck, but it was an absolute G. They just really emphasized the importance of simplicity, and it makes sense because I've been working on this for the last 2 weeks anyway. As I said at the start of this video, this is year one on my mission to become one of the most influential salesmen on planet Earth to ever live. It's a 5-year plan. This is year one. And in order for me to become one of the most influential salespeople on the planet, I need to collect my infinity stones. I need to have the credibility in order to lead millions of people when it comes to sales. I need to have that credibility. So I've already done pretty well for myself in the high ticket space. Genuinely, if I was strapped to a lie detector machine right now, and if I tell a lie, my mum gets shot in the face, and I got asked, do you believe that you are the best DM appointment setter on planet Earth? Wholeheartedly, I would say yes. I truly believe that I'm the best. Truly. Probably not, but I truly believe that I am. I think I've done pretty well when it comes to doing things properly in this high ticket sales space. But however, what I do need to do is I need to go into more markets and dominate more markets, because at the end of the day, high ticket sales, it's a little bit of a silly market. It is very, very easy compared to some of the old traditional sales markets. We're just kind of playing silly fuckers in this space, to be completely honest. It's kind of just stupid. So what am I going to do next year in order to bring myself closer to this goal? The plan is to go back into door-to-door sales, which is where I started, become the top salesman, the top direct salesman, the top door-to-door sales guy, go on to build my own office and build the #1 door-to-door sales team in the UK. That's the mission, Because in 5 years from now, if I can go back and tell that story about how I was already making multiple 6 figures every single month online, and I decided to sacrifice the comfort, sacrifice the freedom, and go back into the field and knock doors throughout winter. I could quite easily just go to Thailand right now, but I'm paying the same amount of money that I would be paying to go live in Thailand, to go live in central London, to go knock doors in the cold throughout winter. How sick of a story is it going to be for me to say, I went back into door-to-door sales, became a record breaker, changed the game, built the #1 direct sales office in the UK. It's like, boys, because I didn't have to do that. That's such a legendary story. So that's part of the process. That's what I'm going to be doing next year. What do 99% of people not do? They don't think long term. They don't make one step back to go 2 steps forward. They don't make sacrifices, and they don't get out of their comfort zone. So 99% of people wouldn't do this, and therefore I'm going to do the opposite of the 99%, and I'm going to fucking go into door-to-door sales with my chest, put my balls on the table, and go conquer door-to-door sales. So that's the plan for next year. In January the 2nd, I'm moving to central London. I hate London, but it is what it is. Moving to central London to go bang some doors. Cool. In order for me to be able to knock doors in London and still run a successful online business, what did I need to do? I need to simplify things, because I am not going to have time to take 10 hours worth of calls every single day. I have not got time to focus on the marketing, the fulfillment, the hiring, and all of the other just complex parts of running a business. I don't have time to run everything myself. So what I've been doing over the last 2 weeks is I've just been simplifying the whole business from start to finish, simplifying everything. But ideally, for you guys watching this video, as you build your business, just keep it simple from day one. I'm making a system for everything, a clear process. I'm in the process of hiring a manager to help just take care of my core responsibilities, and everything is going to be simple. The goals for next year, this whole simplified business framework is actually going to allow me to scale a lot more. I was almost limited by the amount of clients that I wanted to work with, and the students that I wanted to work. I was almost capped on how big I wanted to build my company, just because I knew how complicated everything was, and I didn't want my life to become a mess. But now that everything's just simple, and I've got a good team, of 4 leaders there on my team now, everything's going to be smooth and simple to the point where the business can grow again. And that's what you need to do if you want to make a lot of money. You need to simplify everything. Everything. Keep it super, super simple. All you have to do in order to make, 50 grand a month is just do the basics better than 95% of people. It's just the basics that are going to get you there. If you want to be a billionaire, then maybe you do have to start doing a mad thing, But if you just want to make a couple hundred mil, you don't have to do anything revolutionary. You just have to do the basics really, really, really well and keep things simple. As simple as possible. So Romahiko, my mentor, he was having a conversation. He briefly mentioned a book, and anytime that guy mentions a book, I always write it down, and then I literally ordered it on Amazon straight away. It came the next day, and I finished it within 2 days because it's a very, very short and easy to read book. Highly recommend it. Who Moved My Cheese? In this story, this book, Who Moved My Cheese, it's about a couple of rats and a couple of human size, a couple of rat-sized humans. Right, there we go. That's the one. Oh, mice. I think the mice, right? So basically, the book is about the fact that there's these 2 mice that run around this maze place. They never get complacent. They're super hardworking. They always take action, and they live in a state of abundance. They're never worried about where the next cheese is going to be. They're never worried about running out of cheese. They just assume that there's loads of cheese in the world. They live in a state of abundance, and as a result, they always find new cheese. But everything's very, very simple. It's just an SOP. Their life is an SOP. They run around, they put their running shoes on every morning. They run around the maze until they find some cheese. They eat the cheese. They hang their running shoes up. When the cheese is all gone, they take their running shoes down, and they just go run around the maze again until they find some more cheese. It's super simple. It's simple. They don't overthink anything. They don't get complacent. And they always make sure to hang their running shoes up because they know there's going to be a day where they're going to run out of cheese and they're going to have to go find some more. It's just an SOP. It's nice and simple. No brain power goes into that. It's like, oh, out of cheese now. What should I do? Should I wait for some more cheese to magically spawn in? Oh, how about we make a master plan about which direction we should go in the maze today, and blah, 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 blah. How to be more efficient, and how to optimize my walking speed so that I find more cheese faster. And it's nothing like that. It's just super simple. Run around the maze, find some cheese, eat the cheese, put my running shoes back on, run around the maze some more until I find some more. Simple. And then these two little men. And the thing is with people is we like to complicate things. I don't know. That's just how we operate. I think we get some sort of dopamine release from trying to do too much because we think we're cool, but in reality, we're kind of just ruining our lives. There's these two little guys that are the same size as the rats. They live in the same maze, and they overanalyze everything. They feel entitled. They are scared of failure. They're scared of not finding more cheese. And they just get way, way, way overly attached to any cheese that they find. If they walk around the maze and they find some cheese, they think it's going to be there forever. They've got this really false sense of security where they think their cheese is never going to run out. It's bulletproof. There's enough cheese to last them forever, when that's just not the case. That's delusional. Eventually what happens is the cheese does run out, and then they're screwed, because when they were eating the cheese, getting fat, they didn't hang their running shoes up. They just threw them aside because they didn't think they needed them anymore. When they run out of cheese, they automatically, they was in a state of shock. Oh, what? Our cheese, how could this run out? It's impossible. What's happened? Oh, it'll be fine. If I just wait until tomorrow, I'm sure some more cheese will appear out of nowhere. They're just delusional little men. They're over-analytical, They sit there for days trying to make a plan. How can we get more cheese? They're trying to map out everything, every possible scenario. Should they wait for more cheese to just appear? Or should they start running around the maze? When they run around the maze, how should they run around the maze? Should they walk? Should they split up? Should they do this? Should they do that? They're just doing way too much. And, a couple of days go by, a week goes by, and they still not got any more cheese. While the rats, every day they've got new cheese. Because anytime cheese runs out, they just go away, put the shoes on, run around the maze. And genuinely, that's like the reason why 99% of people don't get results in life. Or 99% of people, they can start to get some results and then they fade. In an industry like sales, you can never get complacent. Ever. Because sales is an industry for savages. And if you get soft, if you get complacent and start to become a princess, then you will get ruthlessly flushed out of the market. Because in sales, it's the simplest industry in the world, because all you need is to work hard and develop the skill. That's it. But also you've got to understand that you're competing against other people every single day. If you're working in SaaS sales and you don't sell your product, then someone else is going to cold call the business and sell them on their product. If you're not selling windows and doors, someone else is going to knock on the door and do a better job than you are. So if you get soft and complacent, then understand that your market share is getting taken by other people in the industry, And it's the same with business as well. If your business is not growing, then someone else's business is growing and taking your market share. So that's why you can never get complacent, because every day that you take your foot off the gas, then someone else is literally just taking your market share, And that's why most people, don't get results in life, because they get complacent. They think they're going to get the results forever. They start overcomplicating things and they get complacent. Well, instead, you need to be like the mice. Instead of just doing too much in your head, there's no really thought to go into it. You just work hard and you just go out there and find new cheese. You just hustle. You just hustle your way around the place. Sometimes, we overcomplicate things so much that it gets in the way from us taking action. And most people don't take action. So instead of, you taking the next 10 days, the 20th of December, taking the next days of writing some amazing plan about how to get a head start in January, and you've got everything mapped out, it's like, boy, more time. Just start today. Just start today. If you want to start a business, instead of just overanalyzing the fuck out of it, just actually start the business. Now, there is a fine line here, because in The Art of War by Sun Tzu, that's quite a well-known book, it does say that many calculations leads to victory and few calculations leads to defeat. So obviously that advice is telling you to make calculations. But however, boys, I want to make it very, very clear that there is a big difference between making loads of calculations, making the necessary calculations, and over-calculating to the point where you literally just get rushed and obliterated before you even get a chance to start, Because what happens is, if you're in a battlefield and you're making calculations and you're making a war plan and you're in the tent moving the pieces around, cool, it's good to be prepared. But at the end of the day, if you spend too long doing that, the enemies are just going to rally their army and just charge you. And if you're still in the tent making preparations and you don't actually have chance to get your generals and your commanders out onto the battlefield to rally your army to defend, then you're just going to get battered because you're still in the tent. You're still analyzing when you should be defending yourself. It's the same in business. If you spend too much time analyzing, then the foundation is flawed to begin with because you're building a habit of not taking action. Doing the opposite of 99% of people, the main thing, the number one thing that you have to do is just take action. At the end of the day, a battle is never going to go to plan. There's always going to have to be adjustments that are made whilst you are fighting this battle. So that is why it's important to just take action and make the necessary adjustments as you go along. My business, I'm having to sit here and rebuild my business almost because I made it way too complicated from day one. But I've been spending the last 2 weeks doing that and fixing it. But at the end of the day, I've still achieved a lot more than I would have done if I just didn't take action. I can still say that I'm confident. I'm comfortably making multiple six figures every single year with my online business that I've built over the last 2 years, which I didn't have necessarily a plan for, didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't have anyone to emulate. I didn't have anyone to sort of show me the way because I didn't know anyone that had done what I wanted to do. To be honest, I still don't know anyone that has built the exact business that I want to build. I'm kind of figuring it out as I go along. But I just had to take action so that I can learn from mistakes and adjust as I'm moving forward, So I was actually speaking to one of my students, David, the other day, and I'm sure you guys have probably heard about David because he did his first 10K month back in October. Probably should do a student interview with him. You know what's also really funny? I asked all of my Alpha Setter boys and everyone in my sales community, who wants to come and do door-to-door sales and build a door-to-door sales business alongside me? Not work for me necessarily, no. Build your own business in door-to-door sales. The exact same thing that I'm doing. There was an opportunity for 3 people to come and do that with me. It's really funny. I had some applications from the free school community, but they were all pretty terrible applications, to be honest. Poor effort. Didn't end up bringing any of those guys in, but there was one guy from Alpha Setters that applied for this role, and it was David. David makes more money than like all of the Alpha Setters, or if not, he makes more money than most of them. And David is the only person that applied for this role. David doesn't have to do that because David makes 10K a month from his phone. He's 19, like he's comfy. He's very comfy. His mum is wealthy. David's doing very well for a 19-year-old. He can go anywhere in the world and make his money. Yet David has chose to come into the trenches and do door-to-door sales with me because I think one very common characteristic of the most successful people in the world is they understand the principle of delayed gratification. Getting uncomfortable in the short term, working hard in the short term for results in the long term. And this is going to serve me and David very, very well. There's a reason that the 2 people inside of Alpha Setters, me and David, that make the most money are the 2 people that are super fired up and enthusiastic about going back into door-to-door sales, while everyone else, the princesses, well, the Alpha Setters are definitely not princesses, but they prioritize their comfort a little bit more than me and David do. They're not making as much money as us, and there's no coincidence there. But I asked David, why do you think that you make more money than other people that I'm coaching? Why do you think that is? What is it about you that has allowed you to get better results? David didn't really know the answer, but I know the answer from David. David, quite simply, it comes down to 2 things. Firstly, if I tell him to do something, he doesn't backchat me, he doesn't question it whatsoever. He just does it. If I tell David to do something, David does that. He literally says, word for word, Roger that, and goes away, and he does it. Doesn't have to ask me. David wanted to invest $3,000 in some fucking info goblin. And I told David, hell no, there's no way that you are giving that guy money. There was no way. He was like, Roger that. I was like, David, you know what? More time. I want you to give $3,000 to Niels instead, which is one of my friends. Horrible deal for Niels. Niels deserves a lot more than $3,000. But I was like, mate, I want you to just send Niels a message saying, I want to give you money. I paid Niels $3,000 for coaching instead of this silly little info goblin. Right? So off David went, paid Niels $3,000, and now he's got 2 mentors. It's me and Niels. Cool. Ever since then, yeah, David's flying. He just does the things that I tell him to do without overthinking it. He doesn't try and reinvent the wheel. Sometimes I do have to have a conversation with him. I'm saying, look, we're doing too much here. Let's bring it down. But yeah, David just does what I tell him to do. He doesn't overcomplicate things. He just keeps it simple. He doesn't try and reinvent the wheel. I've done something that David already wants to achieve himself. He wants to build a successful online sales agency, and he wanted to build that to 6 figures. The goal was to hit his first 10K month this year through his online sales agency. I've done that before. I've done that before David has. So David's just taking my advice and just emulating everything that I've done. He's not reinventing the wheel. He's not doing a mad thing. He's not making crazy complicated systems. He's just following the framework that I've laid out for him. And therefore, he hit his target 3 months ahead of schedule and made his first 10K month. Quite simple. Just did everything that I told him to do. Second thing that David does is he's always just positive. He's always blessed. There's a lot of people that do the work every single day, but they still end up with this victim mentality, because even though they do the work, they feel like the universe owes them the results. Nothing is owed to you. You just do the results you just do the work no matter what, and you be happy about it. Because I like to ask people, if you don't get results from this thing, will you quit? They all say no. I'm like, okay, cool. So if you don't get the results, you're not going to quit. Will you ever quit? They're like, no, I'm never ever going to quit. I'm always going to keep chasing my goals. And it's like, great. Learned this at the mastermind. If you're not going to quit no matter what, then this is your life now. Whether you get the results or you don't get the results, this is your life. You've just made an agreement with yourself that this is your life regardless of the outcome. So if we are doing this anyway, forever, then we might as well do it and just be happy about it. Because whether we get results or not, this is our life. You have the choice. Do you want to have a happy life or a sad life? Just be happy about it. And when you're in a state of gratefulness and you're blessed all the time and you feel happy and you're positive, then you are going to attract better things into your life because you've got a higher frequency. And frequency is genuinely everything. I remember I was on the train and I was sitting across from the director of a £100 million construction company, and we had a conversation about frequency for 30 minutes, and it was just the most interesting thing ever. But frequency is genuinely everything. So you just do the hard work, you keep it simple, and just do the stuff that you know you need to do without overcomplicating things, and you just be blessed. You just be happy. Because again, to make this point one more time, to do the opposite of 99% of people, 99% of people are fucking miserable. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I can't wait for the weekend. Oh, this job's shit. Just do the opposite of 99% of people. You just be blessed all the time. Just be happy. Just live on a high frequency. You're going to attract great things into your life, bro. And that's just it. That's just it. That's just how to make more money. You just slow your brain down. There's a reason why Alex Hormozi only talks about the basics in all of his videos. He never goes into any advanced strategies or any revolutionary change the game systems. Everything is simple by design because you only need to focus on the basics and you will get rich. You will make a ridiculous amount of money. Focus on the basics, live a happy life, and you will get rich, boys. If you are yet to make your first 10K a month, then yeah, literally the only thing stopping you from getting to 10K a month is just doing the work day in, day out, taking action and being happy. Boom, jobs are good. And especially in an industry like sales, because in an industry like sales, if you don't learn to live on a high frequency and actually enjoy the grind to be happy, sales is an energy transfer and people are going to feel your negative energy and they're not going to buy into you. You're not going to get as much opportunity. So those are the things, boys. Slow down your brain, and if you want to know how to slow down your brain, first of all, I recommend having notebooks in front of you. I go through a million notebooks. I've got paper everywhere. Write things down. Get it out of your head and get it onto the paper. When it comes to to-do lists, literally write it down. Write tick boxes next to it. I put it all on my whiteboard. Tick box, need to complete this, and just tick it off when you're done. And it's just get everything out of your head and onto paper. That's one reason. That's one thing that helps me to slow my brain down. Next of all, focus on the 20% of things that are going to get 80% of the results. Like I said, you want to become a millionaire, just do the basics better than 99% of people and you will become a multi-millionaire. You'll be a very wealthy individual. Just focus on the basics. So every day, write your objectives, but just based on the needle-moving activities. Don't focus on doing a mad thing. Is this going to bring me significantly closer to the goal? Yes or no? Just focus on the high leverage activities. That's it. And then also what I would say is just meditation. Just learning how to just still your mind is just the most beautiful thing ever. I've been meditating every day for 3 years now. And well, obviously, I've had periods of that where I fell off. But every time I'm in a routine of meditating every day, it blows my mind still after 3 years how crazy powerful this is. Like, how does me sitting in the corner for 10 minutes doing nothing just lead to such insane benefits? It's crazy to me. But straight away, instantaneously, I feel the benefits of the meditation. I feel at peace. My mind is quiet and I can focus. I can regain my focus. And right now we are in war with our attention span. Our attention span is getting fucking wrecked. Do the opposite of 99% of people. Reclaim your attention span. Reclaim the ability to just focus and have a clear head. Meditate every day, 10 minutes. Promise you, it will change your life. Cold shower. You ain't thinking about nothing when you're in a cold shower. You're thinking about get me the fuck out of this shower. Boxing sparring. You ain't thinking about anything when you're boxing sparring. You're thinking about not getting punched in the face. Meditation, cold showers, and boxing. OP combination. And then, just a hell of a lot of these things, boys. Keep things organized, simplify everything, and you'll make a hell of a lot of money. So, boys, that's all for this video. This is year 1 of me becoming one of the most influential salesmen on the planet. Join my free community, boys. I've not really got anything to sell you here. Just join my free community. We do sales training. We've got courses in there. We do group calls. And we also post a hell of a lot of job opportunities, online and offline job opportunities. Completely free to join, boys. But you must be from a first world country. You must be from an English-speaking country. And you must be above the age of 18, because the people that I work with, the business owners that join these communities, they don't want to hire, unfortunately for you boys, they don't want to hire Pakistani guys. They don't want to hire kids. They want to hire English-speaking, fluent English-speaking people above the age of 18. So that's why those rules are in place, boys. But if you've got any questions or you ever need any help, feel free to message me on Instagram. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this. And as always, boys, keep grinding.